Hello everyone, my name is Emma and welcome to Seed to Table. Today I just want to give you a quick rundown and walkthrough through the garden and to give you some background on how Seed to Table LLC got started. I grew up in Alabama on a farm that my mom had, and we had a very large garden that we worked even from little children on up. So I have some basic knowledge, or had some basic knowledge about gardening, and I didn't really like it. It was a chore to me, and I had made up in my mind that I would never buy anything that didn't come out of a can or a box. Later on in life, I decided I wanted to grow some food, and about 3 years ago we acquired this property, had enough space to actually do a real garden, and so Seed to Table was birthed. The garden now is about 2 years old. This is the second year of the garden, and just this year I decided to incorporate it. So that just gives you a little bit of background about how Seed to Table came about, and now we're going to do a quick walkthrough. So come on with me. Before we get into the garden, this is actually a new addition to the farm. This is a chicken coop. Decided back last year sometime that I wanted to produce my own eggs, and so after a lot of research, I didn't jump into this lightly. After a lot of research, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and get the chickens, and I had to get a proper way to keep them. So this is a chicken coop that I had built, and I will also add the link to that coop down in the description. And by the way, I ordered the chickens, and the chickens will be here on July 22nd. So come back with us when we get the chickens and see us on that.
Okay.
I'm going to walk you through the greenhouse. My husband is from the city. He grew up in Baltimore City, didn't know what a garden was until he met me. He is not an avid gardener, but he is my fan. He is the greatest supporter that I could have. So he got me this greenhouse. And I kept talking about it and saying that I needed one, but I never really got one. And one day he said, "Come on, let's go take a ride." And to my surprise, he took me to see this greenhouse, and I was like ecstatic. As you can see, I can do keep all of my plants in here, my supplies in here, and it's a greenhouse slash shed combination, so it works out perfectly. I've got plants that I have to yet put in the ground, but the biggest thing is that I've got my citrus trees in here, and it works out perfectly because we live in zone 7A, and we have to move these inside during the really, really cold weather. But I can even keep them here during the summer so the bugs don't eat them up. And look, we even have key limes growing, another set. See the flowers? And here's some baby key lime right there. So I'm super, super, super excited about that. And then I've got storage out here where I keep all of my supplies, gardening supplies, for the most part. I do still have some in the other shed, but I keep all of my grow bags and all of my fertilizers and things that I use to maintain my garden in here. All my garden gloves, things like that. So this shed is the best. I love it. Love this greenhouse. And we'll continue to the garden. This is another brainchild of my husband, and it's just a storage box that allows me, if I want to keep something dry. Right now I've got straw in it, and I'm trying to figure out a way how to make it into a compost bin. So if you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments down below. Thank you. So I want to walk you to the back of the garden, and we'll start there and then we'll come forward. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go. So here's the tomato garden. As you can see, my son and my husband put this together for me just this year, and this is where I planted all of my tomatoes. Okay, and they go from the length of the fence from one side to the other. And as you can see, I've got a lot of tomatoes in here. Now, don't get excited. They do have to be pruned. I just have not had the chance to do it because of the rain. But this box was built especially for my tomatoes, and it's trellised so that the tomatoes will have some support growing up. Okay. If you look here to your left, I'm using this corner here as a bean box, and that's supporting some runner beans that I have planted in there. And as you can see, they're doing pretty good. Again, the trellis is there to help with the beans, and it's working out pretty good. I've got some celery planted in this box. I thought I'd try that this year. First time planting celery, so I'm gonna have a small patch of that. And they seem to be doing okay. I may get a couple of stalks of celery this year. If it does well, I'll try to replant it again next year. I've got some zucchinis planted in some pots, and as you'll see as we walk through the garden, I've got pots sitting in different areas around with stuff planted in it, which makes great if you don't have a lot of space. And that's why I said it doesn't matter how much space you have, you can grow food. And so you can see by just what's in these pots that you can grow food. As we weave through here, we're gonna come back because I want you to look forward. This is also my little orchard. I've got fruit trees, different kind of fruit trees planted in here, and these are dwarf and semi-dwarf trees. Apple trees, pear trees, I've got plum trees and cherry trees planted in here. And as you can see, I got a few apples on my apple tree. And I did get some cherries this year, and I've got a few plums that are growing. I've got several varieties of apple trees and a couple of varieties of the other fruit trees. I want to show you to my pepper pots. If you look along here, these are all peppers. And as you can see, they're starting to produce very well. And these are 3-gallon grow pots. Again, small space, but you can grow food. And these grow pots cost maybe $1.50 a piece. You can get them for like 10, 20 a pack. If you come out further, you will see that I've got bigger grow pots. These are actually 200-gallon grow pots. And I got those because I didn't want to waste any space in my garden. Okay, I've got sweet potatoes growing in here, and these are bush type, so you don't have to worry about them taking over my tomatoes. These aren't the ones with the runners on them. They will grow in a bush form of bush type. And I've got other tomatoes in here. I got a theme going. I love tomatoes, right? I've got another one with peppers and tomatoes in them. In a third pot, I've got some squash, and I've got some okra growing in these, okay? And you can put companion plants you can plant them together and it won't bother them. Actually, it's good benefit for them. Okay. I've got peas here, a pea box that has seen its best days. This iteration of peas is ready to be picked and harvested so that I can plant more. And yeah, you can see the weeds. This is my weed and pea box. So I'll have to clean that out before I plant something else. But just as soon as I clear these peas out, today actually, then I will succession plant with something else. Look at that beautiful, beautiful squash flower. Absolutely gorgeous. And the squash bug likes it also. This is squashes of different varieties planted in here. And as you can see, they're doing well. I have to also come out and prune these so that I can get some airflow going, getting into these squashes. But look at this. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some harvesting on today. 2 different types of squash growing side by side, and look at them. Beautiful.
Massive.
Beautiful. And again, if you look around, I got pots sitting everywhere. Other 3-gallon pots with peppers in them. I've got rosemary here and a tomatillo, and there are a few celeries in there that are coming up. I've got corn and another. These are 200-gallon grow pots. You can see the difference between the 300, but this is corn grown in 200-gallon grow pots. I'm really looking forward to this sweet corn. These, another container, and I got these from TSC. These are green onions. I've got several different varieties of green onions in here. And as you can get in, you can see they're doing well. These are tomatoes that I had planted in this container last year, and they just came up on their own. I didn't plant these this year, but what I do have to do is take them out because they're growing too close together. And I have to replant these. More peppers in 3-gallon pots. Containers that I got from the dollar store with some tomatillos and some ground cherries in them. You can use anything to grow food. This particular box here, this was mint that I planted last year, not realizing that mint is invasive. And I thought I had gotten it all up. With the help of my grandchildren, we thought we had pulled out every root. Well, look at this. Not so much. And this is my garlic box. There is garlic that you'll be able to see over there that is ready for harvest in here with the mint that has completely taken over. And there are 2 different types of mint in here, spearmint and peppermint, that has completely taken over. And I did not plant any mint this year, but as you can see, I don't have to. Again, here's the garlic that is ready to be harvested and dried out so that we can consume it. Here's my onion box with some mint that I have cut back several times, and it just keeps coming. And I have to come out and spoon these onions, and that'll be another video showing you how to spoon your onions so that you can get some good sized bulbs out of it. The prized asparagus box. This asparagus box, this one, there's one behind it, and there's a I think that's a 20-gallon pot that has asparagus growing in it. And these are 2, when I planted them, they were 2 and 3-year crowns. And this will be the 2nd year for them. So next year, we're going to be eating fresh asparagus out of the garden. Here's my runner bean container. And these have 6 different varieties of runner beans in them. And as you can see, they're doing well. And these flowers are gorgeous. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. This was the carrot box issue, and as you can see, the carrots are going to bloom. The one thing that I did, I planted my carrots with the intention of thinning them out. I really did. That was my whole goal. And as time went on, by the time I thought about thinning the carrots, it was too late. So I have this. Now, I am sure that there are maybe a handful of carrots in there, that are of size and I can eat them. But as you can see, so now this is sort of like my little, I'm using it more now as to draw bees and butterflies. But I do have to clean this box out. There's also some lettuce in this box, as you can see, and there are other lettuces in the box that has been completely taken over by the carrots. I just built a little box back there with a couple pieces of wood because there was some free space over there, and threw some dirt in there, and those are walking stick kale. And I'm letting them grow. I'm gonna come out and prune them and cut off the bad leaves, but I want to see how tall they can get. I got the seeds, and it said that these things will grow as tall as 9 to 10 feet. So
oh wow,
I'm gonna see. And I started the ones in the back from seed, and then the ones up front I ordered them. Here's my potato container. Again, another 100-gallon grow bag, and this is where all of my potatoes are. And they're looking like I might have some potatoes, so I will come out and check those later. But these are red, purple, and white potatoes.